Friday. I am Tanya and I'm a proud chairperson of GW3 Warriors. Now, this evening segment of Family Talk Friday, we'll be diving into a really, really important topic. What are we grateful for this coming Thanksgiving? Now, as this coming Thanksgiving approaches us really quickly in about a few days, we're talking about 3 days, we're going to be gathering with friends and family. But as we gather with friends and family, we also have to bear in mind that there's so many things to be thankful for and so many things to be grateful for. And I know in some family tradition, we'll be gathering around table, we'll be also diving into why are we so thankful this coming Thanksgiving. Now, for Family Talk Friday, we have a special and incredible chairperson also with us, Miss Deborah, and we are here to dive into how grateful we are for this coming Thanksgiving. Deborah, take it away.
Hi, everybody. So it's such a pleasure to be. Thank you, Tanya. Such a beautiful introduction. Another amazing chairwoman who gives so much of time and energy to our group here. And of course, I know Dennis isn't here with us on stage. She's here with us in spirit, and she is also amazing in so much space that she gives. And when we think of gratitude, we have, of course, my family and those in my health conditions, but grateful for those people who help make it so I can be here today, but also for the people around, right? I know I joined three, maybe month or two ago, maybe 2 months, and it's been amazing and an experience, right? We've become friends, we've become a community, and I'm grateful for even the connections, the inspiration that we can give one another. Gratitude can be found where, and as one who tries to practice gratitude daily, it's a beautiful time of year when we get to see people as a whole communities take a moment, take that pause, and look around at all of the things we have gratitudes for breath, movement, for food, for community. I mean, just the ability to open your eyes in the morning and be able to see something, or open, or get up out of bed, or touch something, just to be able to use our senses to observe the space around us. Gratitude is in all of us. It's such a beautiful time of year when we get to see a lot of people take that moment to smell the flowers or the roses, whatever you refer to as, but to actually take a moment and absorb just the energy of love that can be around us. And of course, at this time of the year, it's to be more prevalent. Seems more people pause for that. And I think it's beautiful. As for my family, we don't have a specific tradition. We are getting to this year. We have family coming from New York, Arizona, and I'm going to Arizona, and we're getting together. But part of my family can't because right now we just found out she will have COVID, and so we know not everybody can get together. But what's this grateful for? The social media, the virtual communities, because we can still connect. We can still say hello. We can still see. We can engage. We can still be together and say. So there's so much to be grateful for around us. Sorry, my phone was
I
getting
just
to go.
love your share, Deborah. There's so much to be grateful for. And as we approach Thanksgiving, I think Thanksgiving is every day. What are your thoughts, Deborah? It's just every day, right? That we have a day that we celebrate and we come together as family, and we're so grateful for so many things. Now, there's so many things that occurred over the past 3 years, right? During the pandemic, there's so much. But from the fact that we're here, we're breathing, we're able to get up, we're able to gather with our family, we have to be grateful. Now, do you think that as Thanksgiving approaches, do you think because we're in the pandemic right now, do you think this year's Thanksgiving will be a little bit different from the ones that we have experienced over the years? And what would make it so different from the ones previous to the pandemic?
Well, yeah, it is going to be different. And now people are getting together, right? So we have those gatherings, but there's also still that concern, right? I mean, had one side of my family have to cancel their Thanksgiving celebration. And then on the other side, we're like, okay, is it really safe to get together? What parameters do we need? We manage all of the unknowns. But there's also that gratitude of here because we all, well, I don't know about all, many of us know people who aren't here today because of the pandemic. And I mean, we have people that will, and things happen, but not literal things happen. So I think for many of us, there's also that reality that life is here in the now, right? We don't know what the future is. We only we have today. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. Pandemic or no pandemic, tomorrow's not guaranteed. Anybody, and I mean, some of us might have more, but it's not guaranteed for anybody. But I think these years really made people from the social isolation to the communication to losses to financial losses, growth, because so many of us turned inward and grew during this time period, including myself. But I think that changes how we look at Thanksgiving. I mean, even for me, but always just gratitude, but during COVID, I really started it daily and started doing that gratitude journal and even started it with my younger son during the pandemic as well. I think it made us connect a little bit more and really understand the value of gratitude. And gratitude could be found within, right? And finding that gratitude, I think makes a big difference. So I think it does change how we look at Thanksgiving and another gratitude as a whole. What about for you?
Yes, I mean, your share was absolutely amazing, Deborah. You highlighted that we learned so much during this pandemic. There were so many pluses. There were so many pluses, which I'm grateful for. One, we were able to connect with our family, right? Whether it be virtually or even seeing them. But also, we were able to appreciate them more, right? Because when we face life and we see what's happening, being able to hug on a family member is a big deal. It's a big deal, be able to even hear their voices. I get on the phone with my cousins, and as much as we're adults, we're like children on the phone. We're laughing, we're cracking up. We're like, oh my gosh, let me see your kids. And we're able to use our FaceTime and all of these devices and all these things we are grateful for. So what I did, I compare previous years, right? Now, before the pandemic, why weren't we doing that as family, right? We were doing it, but not as much. So that pause in the pandemic allowed us to appreciate our family and our friend much more. And it's almost like it's a forever friendship. It's a forever relationship that has really grown over the years. Now, during the pandemic, as family, because we have these smart devices, let's just utilize them, right? So our family, what we used to do, we'll have prayer meeting every Friday night. So my family from all over the world will get on Zoom and we're so excited. We'll pray together, we'll sing together. In the meantime, we'll highlight our children, our grandparents, also our grand uncles and aunts. Imagine being able to see your family as much as this world is in a little bit of different track that we're taking right now. We were able to still connect. So, that's the reminder this Thanksgiving. We are grateful as much as this world has shifted a little bit. I call it shifted, right? It has changed for the best. And as we approach Thanksgiving dinner, remember when we hop into our dinners, we want to make sure that we're hugging on our family members or friends. But what's most importantly, you want to make sure that they feel your love and how grateful you are. Now, when we approach our dinners, which we're excited about, Family Talk Friday, we're going to dive into the dinners, right? Now, what would we have on our tables, right? I get excited. I get excited about the sides. I get excited about the turkey. But most importantly, I get excited about the activities that we will be doing during dinner time, okay? Because that connection is really, really important. Now, as family members, remember your base is your family. That's your core, right? So make sure that we're loving on each other, and when as we leave these dinners, make sure that we're reconnecting on a daily basis or even couple times per week, visiting, doing something, some form of kindness, or giving your family members some form of help during this time, because the world has really, really changed. And because a lot of people are working from home now, as we approach this holiday, it's really exciting that we're going to get out and see family and friends, and we're going to enjoy a very good Thanksgiving, which we're super excited about. And I know this year it's going to be a little bit different, because last year we were kind of restricted a little bit because of the numbers of the virus. But now I think this year we'll definitely get out to our families and being able to enjoy a memorable dinner with them. Now, as we get out to our Thanksgiving dinner, now what are the activities we're going to have planned during this dinner time? I know we're just not going to eat, but we're going to do other stuff. Now, what are the things that you think we should have in place as we get to our dinners, Deborah? Should we be playing games? Should we be doing a Thanksgiving prayer, or just spending quality time? What are your thoughts?
Sorry, I don't know if all the sound came through in the house. So I was trying to see that. Sounded like it was breaking up on my end. But we were talking about games or the activities. So I have to, because when my family last time, my brother and his family, my parents and my kids all got together. We were celebrating in Vegas, and we had these big turkey hats, stuffed turkey hats that we wore. I doubt I would be able to get anybody to wear those again. So I'm gonna do something calmer this time, like a turkey cup or something for Thanksgiving. But I don't think they're the hats. But what I do like to do is incorporate a gratitude statement, right? Having everybody going around and saying something that they're grateful for this, right? Just to get people, especially the kids who roll their eyes because they're teenagers. And so that's a normal teenage, at least my son's responses like that. But they do it. It's that concept of teaching Bible, of just pausing to express that gratitude, to take that moment, right, to teach everybody, especially the kid, that it's important to pause, show gratitude, whether it's with the food, whether, like you were talking about prayer, right? My temple has services, and they make it very possible for virtual services. And so, okay, we're being told they can't hear us in club. So let me see if I can uh, double task here. But I will say that having those games and the activities are really nice. Let me just, I have my volume off in here. Hold on 1 second. If you can take for a second, and I'm going to see what's up my volume here. I'm going to pop in and out. Maybe pop in and out. So, real challenges, we have those, but that's okay. We're coming right back. We are just making sure that people in Clubhouse and hear us as well, so we can have this conversation with them, because we would like to know what you're also go for. Hold on 1 second. I'm going back to that eventually. Clubhouse.
So while Deborah gets some shares from the clubhouse, we're waiting to get some shares because
Ping
I
me.
know.
I can't get back into the room.
Okay, all right.
Technology.
And
It's our
we
friend.
love technology, right? We love technology. Here we go.
We love it, but it can be a challenge sometimes. But that's okay because without technology, we wouldn't be here. So we have to take the good with the challenges, and we have to laugh at the challenges sometimes because that's just what they are. They're just a small step to getting to the next step.
Are they able to hear you in clubhouse,
I
Deborah?
can't find it yet. I'm
Okay,
trying to
let's see.
find
Let's
where. Send me the link on WhatsApp. Never mind. Thank you. Trying to get in. Oh boy. Times challenge or just a challenge. Oh, this is very odd. It's showing the room is closed. This is very.
actually in the room right now in clubhouse, but
Because the room
um,
is actually closed.
it's closed. Okay.
That's what I'm trying to find it because actually I replay with you on topic. That's why I was I'm confused. Trying to in the hall. I'm not seeing it. But as we're working it out because we're
Yes, so I'm in the room
this
right
out.
now. I'm in the room right now. So we have Queen Malika in the room, and we'd love to hear from her what she'll be thankful for this coming.
Okay.
All right, Queen Malika, welcome, 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 and Queen Jackie. So we'd love to hear from you. What will you be thankful for this coming Thanksgiving?
I got you now back in the room. Oh yeah, I'm not a mod. Now, thank you. Take it. What are you thankful for? I thank you. And I love the statement of going to somebody else's house, doing the same thing. That's technically second Thanksgiving in our house, but our first, we're just getting furniture. And but when you're set anniversary, it's my husband's and I renewal anniversary, celebrating that tomorrow, actually. So it's all on the same time. Ago we had our renewal ceremony. It's really like our actual ceremony. So and then bring back memories of everybody coming together. But of which saying of balance. I heard balance in your share. Balance with your celebrating family, yeah, you're celebrating in family and extended family, while still make sure care of your own needs. And so that's simply valuable, and I love that share. So thanks so very much. And tell you, I was bringing you up on just we are talking about what we are grateful for at this time of year, and talked about family. We've talked about activities, but love to hear from you as well. And of course, Miss Nia, honest here. I don't the clubhouse son, so I don't know quite what happened. Technology, technology gremlins us. I'm grateful for bringing another level of entertainment to our challenges while we talk about attitude. Tanya, I did share something before it's over to see what Elise wanted to share today.
Okay, Deborah, thank you so much for sharing those amazing shares from Clubhouse. I heard Queen Malika. Thank you so much for your incredible share. Because, as we approach Thanksgiving, we're going to gather around tables, right? And some family, this is your tradition, just before they dive into their yummy dinners, they'll form a circle and everyone will state exactly what they're grateful for. Now, as Thanksgiving approaches, we are grateful, but also there are family members right now that don't have family. Okay. And we also have to embrace them. So if you know someone, right, that doesn't have a family or doesn't have a community that they can dive into and feel love, why don't we just go ahead and invite them over? Because now they'll have a family. Now, as Thanksgiving approaches, beyond the meals and beyond gathering with our family members, there are also missions that we can be on. Okay. We can go to shelters, right? Because we can also feed the homeless. That's also another incredible mission that we can step out of our comfort zone or step out of our community and feed the homeless. Okay. So that's another incredible activity, but also a memorable and an impactful activity that we can do in our communities. We can get out to the shelters early in the morning and make sure those beautiful individuals have a meal. Now, there are other activities that occur on Thanksgiving Day. What are your thoughts on doing a marathon or 5K run or 5K walk on Thanksgiving? Deborah, what are your thoughts? Should we get our exercise in before we dive into our yummy meals or after? What are your thoughts?
Good question. And it was actually around Thanksgiving that my sister-in-law done when he missed the Ironman competitions in Tahoe. Some of my family are definitely. It's my brother and in-law are both Ironmen and several times. My dad's a retired teacher and coach. My mom's a retired. So exercise like that, or definitely of sorry, my cat climbing the wall. Part of the chin for a lot of. And I haven't done a fun myself in many years. I think that I did do a Susan Cohen, which probably last time I did one of those was probably the last time in San Diego. So over 12 years ago. That's right. I think though exercise can be fun if it's something like how we were jamming at the beginning, just a song, just a minute, can be great. Anything to bring that lively energy, to have that release. When we exercise, we dance, when we do a physical activity, there's something kind of shed off of ourselves as well into the activity and allows us to be uh, absorbed, more released, more comfortable, more stuff. And that just is the whole tone and that atmosphere. So I love, but I want back to the Thanksgiving, doing the working in a soup kitchen or in a trying to read the chat time, reading going into a kitchen or a shelter is important. And I wanted to pause that for a minute because not only are people in the shelters suffering because they might have physical, they might have mental challenges, they have medical challenges, and they're going to get jobs, and many of them families. But you know what? Still people. They have feelings. They still, and because they've been so marginalized, they lesser than the rest of the community and sometimes deserving. And it's not true, but I've seen people in shelters believe deserve to get receive anything. And I know the audio's up, and I'm not sure why. I tested my internet speed. It's really high. It downloads out, so I'm not sure what's happening. I can't for that part right now. Technology giving me a from the money to see how I can problem solve while talking. It's not quite going as well as I hope, so I apologize for that. I'm not quite sure today. I will check that in a second. I will say one of the years before COVID went to a soup kitchen on Thanksgiving. On Christmas Day, my temp was serving the food. So I'm not exactly capable of serving the food, but I some of my jewelry making and I was stamped bracelet everybody. And the company had needed bracelet made, so I had to do with them. People kept on saying, is it really? Can I really? What? Like, people believe that they were being given something. And almost everybody asked for some else. I ended up giving everybody two. One for them, one as to give a gift. And they asked a gratitude commission and the words that they stamped were different than anybody else in every place that made them. It was such common. The only difference was the location, and that was it, right? It was very humbling. One of my sons with me this event. Her son helped finish them because I finished them all that day. And when I brought them to the shelter, they were so grateful. I'm really surprised. I said, I was like, why were we surprised about it? And they said too often people promise to bring something but they don't forget about the people at the shelter. And so they were able to be remembered. And so with the story is take time to connect with somebody because they might be home, they might not have a job, whatever it may be, but we're still human beings and we still want to feel connected. And I'm going to figure out this audio. To you now.
Thank you so much, Deborah, for your incredible share. You know, what I really admired about you is that you dived into the times that you used to visit the shelter before COVID, right? That's the same thing I did also with my children. My younger, I was a part of a mission group. It's called Adventure Club with a Seventh-day Adventist Church, okay? So every Thanksgiving, myself, my mom, and my children, and they were just as young as like 5 and 7 year olds, we'll gather at several shelters. But my children have seen that life is not perfect, right? But guess what? These individuals are just as amazing. And I remember this, more mature young man. I call him a more mature young man. He was an older, older, like a grandpa, right? And then when my son pulled up, my son was about 6 years old, and he was a basketball player, right? In his days. And he was giving my son so many tips. So after we had dinner with them, we went on the court and we were having a great time. So, taking that pause and also getting out of, just before we dive into our dinner early on a Thanksgiving morning, we can go to these shelters and also serve these people. And then also while we're doing so, we're learning so much from them and we're bonding. And Deborah just mentioned that, with her jewelry business, she was able to give these individuals small gifts and they were so grateful. But from the fact that Deborah made these jewelry, it was more personable, right? And they were really fascinated by her gift. And by just being fascinated by her gift, they can see that they can also do that. They can be an entrepreneur just from right there from that shelter, because tomorrow, is always promising or never promising. So these individuals that are in shelters, let's pause and just embrace them. It only takes maybe 2 hours out of your day, and then you can dive into your personable Thanksgiving dinner that you have that awaits you. So Thanksgiving is a lot. There's quite a bit to it. It's not just only just eating and just hanging out with family members. We can also do missionary works by getting into our communities, serving them. And also, we can do fun things on Thanksgiving morning or evening. We can do a 5K run or 5K walk. Now, when we're on these run and all these activities, guess what we're doing? We're also making an impact. We're meeting someone new, somebody who may touch our life or we can touch their lives. So on these 5K runs, we'll meet amazing individuals that can impact your life. So as we approach Thanksgiving, let's look at it on a broader perspective. We're looking at it from bonding with our families that we haven't been able to do for years. We have done it virtually, but also we're able to impact other individuals' life. Okay. And we're so grateful. There's so much to be grateful for this Thanksgiving. So make sure that we're expressing it to our loved ones, making sure we're expressing it to our family, or friends, or community. We can, and our smart devices, there's no limits. Okay. Just one touch and millions of people can hear from you. So make this Thanksgiving a memorable one, because we have come a long way and we're so grateful. So as we go through Family Talk Friday, as you type your messages in the chat, I want you to place some orange hearts for how grateful you are. And also, if you have any thoughts on the things that you're going to be expressing with your family, what are you grateful for? We want you to drop it in the chat. Now, are there any activities? You can also keep going with the chat. Are there any activities that you normally do at your Thanksgiving dinner? I know we have our turkey, we have our mashed potatoes, we have our mac and cheese. Our dinner table will be really beautiful. But also, as we eat and we embrace each other, let's share that love. That love is so, so important. Let others feel your love by what you're doing or the activities. But what's more important, just enjoy yourself, okay? Love on your family, play games, eat well. That's really, really important too. And just be grateful, because it's approaching really fast. And I think this year is going to be a memorable one, because for the past few years, it has been a little bit different. And just because there are concerns in the world, for example, the virus that's still hanging around, which one day it will disappear. But also, while we're doing so, we also have to be safe, because we're going to be around loved ones. We're going to be around older parents or more mature uncles and aunts. So we also have to protect them. So that's going to be really, really important that we stay safe. And I want to thank everyone this evening for actually joining us for Family Talk Fridays. Remember that this occurs every Friday at 4 p.m. And this is through our amazing community, which is called the GW3 Warriors, which was founded by our phenomenal Queen Renee Noor. She has impacted so many lives. And this is what she's doing. She's actually creating and expanding a community to uplift, empower, and highlight the skills and the gifts that individuals are here in the world that needs it. Okay. So if you want to be a part of this community, please visit our website, gw3warriors.com, and make sure that you join us, because this, no matter what your profession is, this will be a community that can help you, and you be able to impact the world. But that being said, I am Tanya, a proud chairperson of GW3 Warriors, and I thank you again for being a part of our Family Talk Friday. And join us next Friday for the same segment. But before we do so, before we close our show, we want to make sure that you and your family and friends have an enjoyable but also an impactful Thanksgiving ahead. I'm Tanya, and I land my plane. Hey, Deborah, you're
Hi.
back. Excited.
How are you?
Great. So what I was doing, I was doing a final talk, but you can also you can pour in from the chats that you saw in Clubhouse. You may have some individuals that have actually written what they're grateful for this Thanksgiving.
I'm trying to get back in again. I I popped out to can fix that audio
Yeah, and
delay.
it sounds better. Sounds way better.
It does.
Yes, it does. It does. Yeah. Thank you so much, Deborah.
I was like asking my husband. I'm grateful husband helped. I'm like, I can't this. I've tested the audio, but we're not quite sure what was going on. But it does sound better, so we'll go with that. And I'm trying to get back into the room because it looked like, oh, they're not still okay. I was trying to see if anybody was still in the room to see what we were or shares on that gratitude because it is such a beautiful of the year, and I know so many people are grateful for those moments to be with family and connections, and even I have to say collaboration, because through Clubhouse, through the G3, we've made these collaborations that have expanded not just this, but our health and our well-being, right? And even the wealth projects that we're doing. So it really is expand into the whole person approach, and it's really allowed us to have that time and connect to to look inward, to see ourselves, to grow within ourselves, turn around and let that blossom, and turn around and give it to those that are around us. Because the more we develop ourselves, the more time we take to learn who we are and to be grateful for all of this in our lives, and to look past the challenges, see those challenges as teachable moments, stepping stones to something greater and better down the road, and just seeing it as it's giving you a lesson to learn from and being grateful for that, and turning around and showing that to those people that are in our communities can be so incredibly beautiful. It allows us to practice gratitude in just all of the way of our lives. And that's something that I've been doing over the past maybe few months that I'm extremely grateful for. And I know here we either pray it forward in the mornings, or when we do our challenges, we are working on ourselves so that we can become better and bigger in all that we do and all that we're able to give back. And as you pointed out, still take the time to make sure we recognize, honor community members who may have what we have. My microphone just seemed out again. I don't have my microphone. This is an interesting day, but oh my This is interesting. Oh, goodness gracious. Hoping my microphone is picking up. Uh, I I have to say I'm grateful for all of the opportunities and for where we're going together as a community. Grateful for that too because that is allowing us to see that there's something brighter on the future, something greater that we get to do together as a community as a whole. And I have to also point out taking that time to show gratitude to our service members. Yesterday, I happened to be after my also grateful for people who make donate and donate because I live off of things like plasma, and so I'm grateful for those that donate plasma. When I was having a Rituxan treatment yesterday, afterwards we went to a store and there was a service member, and I did time to go and thank him just to thank him for his service. But if you can do that, that's grateful to do a gratitude practice as well because you know what? They really appreciate being recognized for their sacrifice and their family sacrifice. And if you see some, take a moment to show that gratitude. If somebody on the street, you don't have to turn away every time you study. You can smile. You can give even with a mask on, people see that smile. They're grateful for it. Take that time to show compassion and love and kindness to other people. We're all humans living in life and an experience. Take that time to recognize that commonality that we have and the beauty of the world around us. And I wish you all a beautiful holiday season and a safe and beautiful holiday season and less technology gremlins in your way so that you can have education the way you'd like. But with that, we'll sign off and give it back to Miss Tanya here. Very grateful to share with you today. Mike is yours.
God. And I thank you so much, Deborah, for being our co-host here for Family Talk Friday. This was such an incredible segment because you know what, it was a segment just before Thanksgiving, and we're so grateful. And just by your final takeaway just now, I really love when you mentioned that we should stop and honor or servicemen, because some of them are not going to even be home for the holidays, right? So we have to thank them. There'll be a way. We have so many resources that we can pause, we can FaceTime and thank all our servicemen or women all over the world. Really, really important because it's a time they have really honored and really stood up for our nation. So it's really, really important that we stop and pause and make sure that they hear from us and making sure that they know how much they are loved. And we are also, as much as they're far away in different countries, Guam, everywhere in the world, we want to make sure that they're here in our hearts and we have to express that to them. And for that being said, I want to thank everyone for being a part of Family Talk Friday. We really appreciate everyone for joining us. And we also are so grateful for your shares. And we wish everyone a happy and safe and enjoyable, but yet impactful Thanksgiving. And make sure that we love on our family members and our friends and make it memorable. And thank you so much, Deborah, for joining us. And of course, Queen Jeanette, we miss you, but we know next Friday we're going to really dive in. And before that being said, we're going to move on to the clubhouse. We're going to hear from our clubhouse members that have also poured into this evening segment. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a fabulous weekend and an enjoyable Thanksgiving.